Hey, what's up folks, welcome back to the channel. Now many of us basketball fans know that Larry Bird was one of the most feared basketball players of all time, so I thought it would be interesting for us to watch a video detailing the level of fear that so many of his rivals and adversaries had for him. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that, so without further delay, let's get into it.
Isaiah Thomas once said that if he, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Larry Bird were put in a room together and told to battle it out, Bird would be the one left standing. Let that sink.
Hey, that is some compliment coming from Isaiah Thomas. We know him from the Detroit Bad Piston days, and he was a tough player in his own right.
Again for a moment, it speaks volumes about the greatness of Larry Bird. Now, there was a time when trash talking was an art form, and players backed up their words with jaw-dropping skills. It was the late 1980s, and Larry Bird ruled the hardwood like a basketball god. His talent was off the charts, and his confidence soared even higher. But it wasn't just his on-court heroics that made other players become terrified of him. Oh no. Larry Bird had an arsenal of words that could cut through steel. Bird's game was also built on something entirely different: trash talk and sheer badassery. He didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. He was the undisputed king of trash talking, and he didn't discriminate. Whether you were a future Hall of Famer or rookie, Bird would verbally dismantle you without a second thought. This man had the audacity to talk smack like no other, even more than Jordan and Peyton combined. And his confidence, it was both terrifying and stoic. A deadly combination. On a scale of 1 to 10, he was a perfect 15 at his best. Imagine being an up-and-coming superstar like Dominique Wilkins or Dr. J, thinking you've got what it takes to face Bird. Well, think again. Larry Legend would tear you apart, both on and off the court. And it wasn't just the players who felt his wrath. Head coaches like Doug Collins and Chuck Daly couldn't escape his verbal assault either. You see, the NBA today just doesn't have the same level of trash talking as it did back in Larry Bird's era. Sure, we have a few players trying to keep the spirit alive, but it's nowhere near what Bird used to unleash on his opponents on a daily basis. The NBA has evolved, and trash talking has taken a back seat. It's a lost art, my friends. Now sit back, relax, and prepare to witness the masterclass of trash talking. We'll take a journey through Larry Bird's greatest trash talking moments and NBA players that were scared of him. But before we get to all that, you know the drill, fam. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and slam the notification bell so you never miss out on our mind-blowing NBA content.
Appreciated.
And now,
so guys, that was a great intro. It definitely makes me so excited to watch the rest. All I can say though is that I wish I was alive to watch 1980s basketball, you know, watching Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson, watching the rise of Michael Jordan, watching the fight of the bad boy Pistons towards the late 80s. My goodness, what an era to be alive. If you guys watched that era of basketball, let me know below how amazing it was. I am jealous of you, that is for sure. And by the way, if you are enjoying this video, please remember to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel. Without further delay, let's get back into it.
Let's get this show on the road. Welcome to the Larry Bird Show.
Let
me hit you with a quote straight from the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. MJ once said, "Larry Bird is the greatest trash talker and mind game player of all time. He taught me everything I know about getting in folks' heads." And coming from MJ, that's the ultimate compliment right there. Now, remember Leo Rautins? I didn't think so. He was once an opponent who faced Bird on the court. Leo said, "I say this in the utmost complimentary way. Larry was a prick." Larry Bird was a master of trash talk. I mean, this guy took trash talking to a whole new level. Larry was so merciless that he even inspired generations of players to humiliate their rivals just like he did. Even after retiring from the game, Bird could still verbally destroy anyone who dared to challenge him. One player who experienced Larry's wrath firsthand was none other than Gary Payton. During a conversation with Uninterrupted Throwing Bones, Payton crowned Larry Bird as the greatest trash talker of all time, and he had a chilling story to back it up. Larry had the audacity to tell Payton exactly what he was going to do before he did it. And the worst part, Larry went out there and did exactly what he said, burying buckets in Payton's face. According to Payton himself, Larry would say, "Look here, man. I'm gonna shoot this mother jumper in your face right there in that corner, and it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open." Payton never forgot that encounter, and it just goes to show the sheer dominance and confidence Larry Bird possessed.
Can you imagine playing against a future Hall of Famer in Gary Payton, and then telling him exactly what you're going to do, to have the confidence to do that, and then do what you said you were going to do. That was Larry Bird, ladies and gentlemen. He just had the utmost confidence in his ability, and he made other opponents and other players feel so small on the court.
That's
incredible.
Magic Johnson. Now, Magic and Bird revolutionized the league. Their rivalry ran deep, dating back to their college days. Magic played for the Spartans, while Bird repped the Sycamores. And boy, did they give us a show during the 1979 NCAA Finals. In his book, When the Game Was Ours, Larry Bird opened up about that game. He talked about the fear he felt when he watched Magic's performance against DePaul in the Final Four of the NCAA Championship. Magic, being the straight-up legend he is, admitted, "The problem with Larry was he could score from anywhere. It was the first time in my life I was scared of another player." Stylistically, Larry Bird was always a nightmare for Magic Johnson. Standing at 6'9", this Celtic legend was a mismatch nightmare. His offensive arsenal was endless, and his shooting skills were second to none. Magic himself admitted that Larry was tougher than any other player he had ever faced. Three-point contest. Now, it's 1988, and the three-point contest is about to go down. Now, back in those days, shooting threes wasn't as common as it is now. But let me tell you, there were still some incredible shooters in the NBA. So before the contest even began, Bird strolled into that locker room, looked his fellow contestants in the eye, and dropped a bombshell on them. He straight up asked, "Who's planning to come in second?" I mean, who has the guts to say something like that to a room?
Guys, imagine walking in a room full of the other best shooters in the league. You're all vying for the three-point contest in All-Star Weekend, and you ask them, who's coming second? What must those players have thought when he told them that? It's so demoralizing. Oh my goodness, that is just testament to the trash talk of Larry Legend.
Room full of elite shooters. Larry Bird, that's who. And you know what's the craziest part? He was out on that court and did exactly what he said he was going to do. Talk about backing up your words with action. Hawks. Remember Bird's legendary game against the Hawks when he dropped 60? Well, Doc Rivers remembers it well.
Bird got in the zone and he started calling his shots. He started saying off the glass. That was one game I think he tortured Dominique. He saw Dominique as this up-and-coming player and he just tortured him mentally. He tortured all of us. He was calling his shots off the glass. Who's next? Where you want this one from? And he just made one after another.
Reggie Miller. Now, very few players have the guts to challenge Larry Legend. And those who did, well, they usually ended up regretting it real quick.
Great
One guy
Reggie
who learned
Miller.
that the hard way was none other than Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, a player who knows a thing or two about trash talking, experienced this firsthand. He recalls the moment vividly, with just 20 seconds left on the clock and his team down by 3 points. They fouled Bird, sending him to the line. But Miller, being a rookie dump, didn't realize he was facing one of the greatest free throw shooters of all time. As Bird stepped up to take those crucial shots, Miller couldn't resist. He muttered something under his breath, trying to get inside Bird's head. But Larry Bird, the ultimate competitor, wasn't about to let that slide. He stopped right before shooting, locked eyes with Miller, and said, "You gotta be kidding me. Rook, you gotta be kidding me." Bird got the ball again, and before he shot, he said, "Rook, I'm the best shooter in the league right now. In the league, understand? And you're up here trying to say something?" He wanted Miller to understand that he had no business trying to distract him. And just like that, with ice in his veins, Larry Bird sank both free throws, sealing the victory for the Celtics against the Pacers. Now, nobody in the league was safe from his verbal assaults. And not even Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest defenders of all time, could escape Larry Legend's wrath. Back in the day, when Dennis was still rocking the Pistons jersey, he found himself face-to-face with the Celtics forward. And boy, did Larry make him pay. In one instance, Larry drops 4 consecutive buckets over Rodman, making it look effortless. And in true Bird fashion, he struts over to Detroit coach Chuck Daly, looking as cool as can be, and shouts, "Who's guarding me, Chuck? Does anyone guard me? You better get someone on me, or I'm gonna go for 60. Now, credit where credit's due. Dennis Rodman didn't back down. Those words from Larry lit a fire within him, and he went all out on the defensive end, trying to shut down Bird. But here's the thing, Larry was relentless. While Dennis was giving his all to deny him the ball, all Larry did was yell at his teammates, "I'm open. Hurry up before they notice nobody is guarding me." Oh no, Larry wasn't done yet. He had to double down on the trash talk. He drills yet another jumper over Rodman, leaving no doubt who was in control. And then he turns to Chuck Daly with a smirk on his face and says, "Coach, you better get this guy out and send in somebody who's going to D me up, because it's too easy when I'm wide open like this." Man, oh man, Larry Bird had no mercy. He tore Dennis Rodman apart, not just with his game, but with his words too. John Salley, a former NBA player himself, also couldn't help but praise Bird's trash-talking skills. When asked about the best trash talker he's ever played against, Salley didn't hesitate for a second. He said, "Larry's the blackest white dude I've ever met." That's one heck of a statement. Salley went on to share a mind-blowing story about a scrimmage against Larry Bird during the summer. Larry Bird steps onto the court and confidently asks, "Y'all going to double me tonight when I get the ball in the wing?" Now, most players will probably be like, "Yeah, we definitely gonna double team you." But not Salley. No, no, no. He fearlessly responds, "No, man, straight up." And that's when Larry unleashes his legendary trash talk. Larry looks Salley straight in the eye and says, "Y'all ain't double teaming me?" Salley sticks to his guns and confidently replies, "No, I got you, dog." And that's when Larry drops the hammer. He looks at Salley and coolly says, "Mouse in the house." Oh boy, you know things are about to get real. Without wasting a moment, Larry Bird proceeds to walk Salley down to the post, gets the ball, and calmly tells him, "Better ask for a double team, Sal." And let me tell you, my friends, Larry moves at his own speed. He doesn't care how fast you think you are. He's gonna school you, plain and simple. Now, it's moments like these that make Larry Bird a legend. He didn't just have the skills, but the swagger and confidence to back it all up. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification.
Awesome, guys. Well, that was a great video. Just testament to Larry Bird, his trash talk, and how he struck fear into his opponents. He didn't discriminate. It could have been a rookie. It could have been all-time greats like Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Dominic Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas. It did not matter who you were. He was going to tell you straight what he's about to do and then do it. Testament to his confidence in his ability, the great Larry Bird. There will never be another one like him. Yeah, so folks, if you did enjoy that video as much as I did, please remember to like and subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. And let me know your memories of Larry Bird. Those of you that watched him live, let me know what your opinions of him are and what your memories of him are. I'd definitely be interested to hear. Like I said before, I'm jealous that I didn't grow up during that period, because to me, the 80s and 90s were the best time to watch basketball. But yeah, folks, that is all I have for you today. So until next time, I hope you have a good one. Cheers.